So welcome to round 2 of Power Talks, Talks, for those of you who thought I misspoke yesterday, Power Talks. So we're going to hear some more stories this afternoon. This is about celebrating people, celebrating their stories. And the first speaker that we're going to hear from is someone that you've already seen, someone who was up on stage during the fireside chat yesterday. Jess Marquardt is the CEO of reNature, and she's joining us again to talk about and to tell part of her story. One thing that I thought was very powerful that she shared last night was her company's philosophy about the silent protest and standing up for diversity and inclusion in a way that makes sense for her company and her brand of entrepreneurship. We're thrilled to have her again with us today, and she's joining us from the only place in the country right now that is hotter than Sacramento. So she came here to get some cool breeze. Please help me welcome our next speaker, Jess Marquardt.
Thanks. All right, hello everyone. My name is Jess Marquardt. I came in from Phoenix, although I actually didn't come in from Phoenix because planes weren't taking off in Phoenix because it was too hot. So I came from Denver this week. But I'm very glad to be here. And you know, when I was originally approached about giving this power talk, I thought a lot about the phrase cultivating change. You know, cultivating change and what it's meant throughout my life and throughout my career. I started going back, and I thought about things, and I thought about initiatives, and then I got to this thought, which is giving away money is hard. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but let me explain what I mean for a second. So the first time I experienced this was when I was at Google, and I was given a project which was to give away $3 million in 1 month to a number of groups that were looking at changing the face of computer science by promoting education and nonprofits representing underrepresented groups, right? But what do? Do you give individual scholarships? Do you go with larger grant organizations with broader strokes? And then you start talking to people, and they say, well, what kind of reporting do I need to do? Am I eligible for this next year? What is it going to cover, and what doesn't it cover? It gets real complicated real fast, and 30 days goes very quickly. The next time I encountered this attempt to do a very large movement was helping to facilitate investment in Africa. So I was working with USAID trying to give millions of dollars to a company to have a free monopoly building out internet infrastructure in Liberia to make sure that communication could be better following the Ebola crisis. You would actually be surprised how difficult it was to find a company willing to take that money because, and this is true in the story I told before, of one thing that we are always going to encounter, and that's opportunity cost. Anytime we offer a gift to someone, they have to expend some kind of resource, and they have to say no to something else to take advantage of it. And in these scenarios, I'm talking about giving away free money. So then when we think about cultivating change, taking someone's mind that has a different viewpoint from yours and trying to actually change their mind, that comes up with a whole big problem. So with this, then I thought back more to my experience and my days of doing executive coaching. And we used to talk about something which is cheesy, so just go with me on it for a second, called dealing in the comfort zone, the adventure zone, and the danger zone. So these different zones are probably familiar to you. Comfort zone is chatting with your friends about stuff you all believe in. Adventure zone is where you still feel confident, but maybe you're not as confident about your audience's opinions, or maybe you're not as confident about the material and your mastery of it, but you feel okay, and you're going out there, you're doing things, right? And then the danger zone, it's terrifying. You are out of your depth, you don't feel comfortable, you just want to run away. So studies have actually looked at this extensively. And what they've found is that being in the comfort zone, as comfortable as it is, doesn't do anything for us. You're just existing, right? The adventure zone can grow over a period of time. And actually, the more time you spend in the adventure zone, the more time your comfort zone grows. So more things become comfortable. And then, of course, if you're in the danger zone, you can actually shrink both of your other zones, which is terrifying and makes you unable to do things in the past that would have felt really comfortable. So probably these zones sound fairly familiar to everyone out there, right? We've all experienced all of them numbers of times. So then I started thinking about my current project. And I'd like to share with you my comfort zone. It's my happy place and why I'm here. So I work at reNature. It's a company that is creating a all-natural biostimulant out of food waste. So we're solving a bunch of problems. We're going out and we're doing something useful with the food waste that is giving off methane gases and is filling up landfills all across the nation and the world. We're diverting food to food banks. We're giving people jobs. Actually, we're doing training for people coming out of our penitentiary systems in rural environments in industrial jobs that are new sectors in those areas. We're creating a product that can offset the use of chemical fertilizers and create a more sustainable long-term soil health program for farmers. This stuff makes me happy, and it's why I'm here, because the more I can get the word out about my product and get people using it, the more I can make that impact. But to really spread it out there, I can't stay in my comfort zone. In fact, I'm sorry to tell you that the majority of the time I am talking to people, I don't talk about any of those things. Now, what I have to do is I have to go into my adventure zone because I am talking to people who don't share the same opinion as me. And I'm telling them about things that I'm comfortable with in my product, that I believe in, but that are more important to them. I talk about how I can increase the yield of your crop significantly, about how I can reduce the problems you have with salinity management. With investors, I talk about how, yeah, those food banks give us free inputs, so our cost of production is really low, so your return is going to look really awesome, if you know anyone. And with all of these things, I feel comfortable about what I'm talking about, but it's not my happy place. It's me trying to be adventurous and convince people who don't inherently have the same idea I do to do something. Because I have a very solid belief, and that is that to change the world, we have to go out with our value, something that's true to us, and create a value proposition so that someone who shares none of our mission, none of our goals, and none of our happy places buys into it. And everyone here has that value, right? We all have something that makes us happy, and then we have something that's valuable to others. And I'm not saying hide who you are in any way, shape, or form. That's not it. I talk all about sustainability on my website. It's all over the place, right? People can read about it. But when I have those conversations, I'm tailoring to make change. And that's really important to me, because I don't just want organic farmers using my product. I want people that are in sectors of farming that traditionally get frowned upon for being environmentally harmful to be using my product, because that's where I'm making the biggest difference. I'm changing people's ideas, and I'm making something that people would have seen in the past as a problem less bad on the environment. My audacious goal is that I would like to make my footprint on this earth over the time I am here, not just carbon neutral, but like even better than had I not been here at all, right? And I think that's important. I think we should all have an audacious goal. And I think by being here today, everyone has shown that they want to be part of an audacious goal. They want to change things. So I challenge everyone here today to find what is your adventure zone. Figure out where you're comfortable, but not too comfortable. And go out there and try to make real change, because that's how I believe together we can really achieve our audacious goals. And whoever we are, wherever we come from, whatever sector we're in, make a really big difference. Thanks.
Jessica, thank you again for joining us, for sharing some of your company's philosophy, for sharing with us your audacious goal, and for challenging us to embrace an audacious goal ourselves. Thank you again.